de toi. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Grain of Salt. Now, this episode is going to be special because so far, what I've talked about, or at least in my opinion, what I've talked about, has been more serious topics. But today I'm going to be a little bit more laid back because right now I am currently folding my laundry to put away, and I did this laundry like literally 2 weeks ago, but I'm so lazy that it takes me like 3.5 weeks where I literally have to dump my laundry on my bed. That forces myself that I can't sleep unless I go and fold my laundry. So that's what I'm doing right now. So today, the topic I want to talk to everyone about is music and maybe some unpopular opinions that I have with music. But first, let me talk to you guys about my journey with music. So, I think it's very interesting the kind of taste in music I have. Me personally, at least now, I just really love old school music. And it's really weird to say that too, because like I'm not that old. So like even like music from 2008, I kind of consider old school. And that's just because that was like kind of, in my opinion, before the insurgence of the internet, at least to what it is today, where everyone's a freaking SoundCloud rapper and everyone is trying to do their own thing and pop off in their own way. So there's that. And I don't know, I think it's probably started in my roots because in Jamaica, when I was living there, I was young, and I guess in the Bronx too. In Jamaica, like, I only really remember like the same kind of music being played, and it's this old school reggae. And if you listen to dancehall reggae right now, like Vice Cartel and Popcorn, like, and the older music, it's come drastically different. Back then, it was like controversial for them to say, "I love a woman, how dark she is," and I just want to love her and everything like that. Whereas today, it's just wine and catch, bust a wine, wanna fuck you in a tree kind of stuff, which is whatever, to each his own. But I don't know. I grew up listening to Down by the River, Beres Hammond, Iwayne, which is actually really funny because Can't Satisfy Her by Iwayne. I used to sing that song all the time. And when I got older, I realized he was talking about a girl dying from STDs. And I didn't realize he was saying penicillin, if the penicillin isn't helping and all kinds of stuff. It's like wild. And like, to go off on like another kind of tangent, I think it's crazy that like right now in the world, dancehall is such a popular thing. Like everyone loves dancehall, whatever. But you know what? I really and truly believe, as a Jamaican, as someone who actually literally understands the kind of ridiculous, outrageous things they are saying, that the people who claim that they love dancehall or listen to dancehall have no idea what they're actually saying. And I know it. I know it because, especially in this time and day and age, I know there's no way like Fever. Um, gosh, I work in this place in Oakville. So, and Oakville has like a lot of white people, and a lot of them are bougier. And I'd like to think that they're not attuned to black culture because Fever came on, and my guy was saying punani and everything, and they were not phased at all because I know for a fact they had no idea 90% of the words that Vice Cartel was saying. Same thing with Popcorn because I hear Raven. No, no, no. What is it? Overdo it. Because when I heard that song, I was like, goodness gracious. He's just out there with the homophobic lyrics and everything. But you know what? Whenever it comes on at a party, everybody are saying, I mean, I overdo it. So that just has me convinced no one actually knows what the hell is going on. Even like when people out here singing Chichiman, like, I know for a fact you don't know exactly what they're talking about, but everyone will make the fire burn them. So, just as a Jamaican, and for what it's worth, music is also timepieces. So, what was acceptable then and in their time, things have changed in this time, or we'd like to believe they've changed. So, you can't get mad at the art for what it was if you understand what they're actually saying. So, anyways, I grew up listening to like older school music, Aretha Franklin, but it's very weird. Like, as a kid, when I was like growing up, I didn't listen to music a lot, or at least the only kind of music I listened to was like Disney Channel kind of music, because that's all I watched, like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. So like, Leave It All to Me by iCarly and Lizzie McGuire and Camp Rock. Like, those are the stuff I listened to as a kid. But what actually got me into listening to more diverse music, ironically, was my grade 6 teacher. And we always used, there's a game we love to play like on rainy days, or like, I remember like, music, like whatever days when we didn't have anything else to do, or there was like not a lot of kids there. We played categories. And like she'd always play. She had like this really diverse library. So she'd play Kanye and the Beatles and AC/DC, and because of that, I really enjoyed this music. And it's really weird, I think, at least, because I was like, there wasn't a lot of black people, and I was like one of the few black kids there, but I was this black kid. And I swear, in grade 6, all I listened to was the old school Beatles, like to the point where like I'd watch like their music videos or like their live performance on YouTube, and it got to a point where I memorized their laugh or their cough or everything, and it was like just crazy to me how much I loved it. And but that's also where I started listening to rap, because what at the time, grade 6, what am I, like 12 or 13? But I remember my sister always used to play Lil Wayne and stuff like that, and he said, don't listen to Lil Wayne because it's not appropriate. So I remember back in the day, I'd listen to Lil Wayne, but I listened to the clean version. Jeez, it's crazy to think, like, I used to listen to just clean versions of songs. Whenever there was a cuss word, I'd be like, what is going on? And then now, like, I listen to an adult and I hear a clean version of a song and it's not on the radio. I'm like, what the heck is this? But yeah, so I started off doing that. So I think that's where I get my unique taste of music from, where, I don't know, I guess because I started really listening and appreciating music at the time when I was like 12 or 11, I really like the old school music, or like at least the vibes that old school music gives. Because in my opinion, as eras change, music changes. So the vibe from like the early 2000s, even like the 70s or whatever, that the music gave to people and the social commentary it had at the time is drastically different from today. Sorry about that. Anyways, so I was saying I at least think I have a very strange taste in music. It's not average, whereas I can appreciate rock and roll music and alternative music, but I'd have to say my favorite genre of music is definitely R&B, because R&B, to me, there's nothing in this world or this universe that can replace it. Because reggae and dancehall, I guess what I got from it as a child, where I learned my opinion, music is something that like has soul and feeling to it. And R&B literally means rhythm and blues. It's R&B soul. So like soul music that comes from the soul. So my way to appreciate music is when I really listen to music and hear it from the soul, which I think kind of relates to who my favorite artist is and why they're my favorite artists. Because my favorite artist, for sure, hands down, is J. Cole. And I know, to a lot of people, he's like kind of just a meme, and that all the people who support him, they're like, everyone makes fun of him online. But really and truly, before my favorite artist definitely was T.I., and then he went to jail for like the third time when I was like, what? Around that time when like he was supposed to get Kin on Cage, but then he got sentenced to jail again. So then he changed his album to No Mercy. Yeah, around that time, then I was like, I guess I don't really like T.I. that much anymore. And then who's my? And I guess Lil Wayne would have been my favorite artist because like, yeah, especially in my prime when I started actually listening to music, Lil Wayne was everywhere. He just came out of jail, released a Carter 3, and then he wanted to be a rock star. He was wild. And even now, like, he just released the Carter 5. Well, not recently, but good. And I can't really say that I didn't listen to it, but you know what I mean. Like, he's still making music, and I really appreciate that about him. But yeah, but J. Cole, the story of how he became my favorite artist is just amazing. Cause well, at least in my opinion. So I remember my friend Miles's house when I was a kid. We'd always come over. Like he was just a hangout house, right? So we'd go to his basement and chill and watch music videos, watch movies, play PS2, or like in his backyard play games or whatever. And I remember back in the day, if y'all know, 106 in Park had Roxy Diaz and Terrence J. So, you know, we used to watch it all the time. And I remember one time we were watching 106 in Park for the Freestyle Friday, and Who Dat came on. And I watched the music video, and I was like, damn, that's good. He can spit. And then, also, like, I'd say, like, a year later or a couple of years later, in, like, grade 7 or grade 8-ish, I would say, back when I used to listen to all my music on Hot New Hip Hop, because, you know, I was starting to get into hip hop a little late, so I wanted to catch up. So I wanted to hear the most underground music that was being released and everything. So I listened to all that on Hot New Hip Hop because I wasn't really into that Piff and stuff like that. So I was there, and then I saw, oh look, J. Cole. I'm like, oh, I remember him from Who Dat, and he dropped this little mixtape, Friday Night Lights, and that changed my life. So I was like, yeah, let me give it a chance. I remember him. And then the first track hooked me. And then, too late for the intro, track number 3. That is hands down my favorite song of all time. Before I'm Gone. I don't know what it is about R&B or rap tracks when it has like a choir background. That one just hits different. Especially because I grew up in church and I'm Christian and everything. Just when I hear it, it just... But yeah, if I could never listen to any music in just one track for the rest of my life, every day, every hour, Before I'm Gone, it's definitely that track. It just... I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was like the teenage angst within me, or there's something that when I listen to this song, it's just this cathartic release. So that's my favorite album, and you know, J. Cole is still my favorite artist to this day. A lot of people clown on him, and like he's popular now, but I remember his underground stuff. So like Killers and The Good Son and all those things, and that just to me solidified who he is and why he will always be my top favorite artist. And people can clown on him and make fun of him all he wants, and maybe people will never hear his underground stuff, but to me, he's top 100. And like nowadays, I really love Khaled and Chance and Kendrick, so like the big name people, but for sure J. Cole top 5. But now I'm gonna get to some unpopular opinions that I have, and people can fight me on this. My friends have fought me on this, but what I have to say is Sicko Mode by Travis Scott featuring Drake would have been a perfectly good... You know what? Sicko Mode would have been a better song if Drake wasn't on the track. Because to me, you know, even if Drake had just done the opening where he's like, sun is out, leaving cold, you already know, that part would have been fine. But when he comes in and it's out like a light, to me, it ruined the entire vibe of the song. Because Travis had his own flow going, and then Drake kind of just messed it up. And like everyone was like, oh, and everyone fights me with that. But for sure, I personally believe that Sicko Mode would have been better if Travis Scott was just on the song. Was just maybe it would have been as big of a hit, but I think it would have been a better song overall if Drake wasn't on it. But that's just me. And another thing, I didn't like Scorpion. Yes, I said it. I listened to Scorpion once, and honestly, the better side was definitely the R&B side, because the rap side, to me, didn't have a lot of playable tracks. But that's just me. And since we're on the topic of Travis Scott, I think Astroworld wasn't that great. Travis Scott, no offense, I love him as an artist, but his quality of music has declined, because if you listen to Rodeo and Days Before the Rodeo, and then compare, like even Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, their songs are a lot more playable. Not to say that they're like my favorite, but they're definitely better quality songs than I got when I listened to Astroworld. So personally, Travis Scott, you can do better. And like you can call it the Kardashian curse, whatever. But for sure, Travis, you can do better. And I don't know. Another unpopular opinion, I don't know if it is or not. I love Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes is bomb. Like, I remember when he first came out, like back in the day with Life of the Party, I used to roast him all the time, because I'm like, how you gonna make a song called Life of the Party, but it's a slow song? It's kind of like, ironic. But now, if you play Lost in Japan, or If I Can't Have You, I'm putting the speakers full blast and blaring it all out. So that's just me. Let's see. Me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I had this weird taste in music. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't think Selena Gomez is a really good singer, but I really like her music. Is that weird? And I think it might be a little subtle or unconscious thing, because I loved her so much on Which Is the Waverly Place, that I just subconsciously like her music. But like, even people tell me the music is bad, I don't know what it is. There's something in me that's like, yeah, it's bad, but at the same time, I really, really like the music. Yeah. So that's my little music minute. But I had to put that out there because I literally told my friends this, and they've gotten angry, like mad at me, physically upset with me. But Travis Scott, sorry, Sicko Mode is better without Drake. That's it, hands down. But that's my music minute. I just have one short topic that I'm not going to go too much into, but I did want to talk about it because me and my friend Brandon were in the car today. We were just talking, and we were talking about politics. I was more focused on the Canadian side. He was more focused on the American side, especially because the Democratic debate was yesterday. So if you're Canadian, the federal elections are in October, and if you're American, I think next year's 2020. Well, elections are in November, or like next year, or whatever. Not too in touch, but elections are coming soon. So, and on social media, I have been seeing a lot that people are complaining about what Trump, Ford, Trudeau are doing, but it's really important that you vote. And when I say vote, I think you should vote for the best person for the job. Don't vote for a party. Vote for who you think is the most qualified person for the job. Because a lot of people want to slander Trump and slander Ford and slander Trudeau. But if we're being real, everyone's like, Trump should have won the election. But when you look at numbers, a lot of people didn't vote. Only about 40% of people voted in the 2016 election. And that's problematic because people had a problem with a lot of stuff. But like basically, if people had a problem with Hillary because she's the old news Democratic, so people thought maybe Trump would be different, or like basically, no matter who you got, it wouldn't have been a great president. But still, I think it's important for you to vote because voting matters. And I'm not going to go into this whole suffrages and, you know, women dying so people could vote and all these other stuff. But voting is very important because if you want to be a part of democracy, I think you should vote. And I feel like, of course, I'm not right in everything I say in this podcast, take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like a lot of the people protesting and saying or like putting down Ford or Trump or whatever are the same people that voted for them or didn't vote at all. And I have a problem with that because when you don't vote, you, in my opinion, you should lose your democratic right to complain about what a leader is doing because you were complicit in them winning the election. So and the thing about elections is they're hard, and I get why people don't want to vote or they just vote for a party because when you go onto their like I remember last election with Trudeau, like when I was 18, when Trudeau was supposed to be elected, I was like 18 or 19. So, and I went on the website and I went on the liberal website, I went on the conservative website, and I tried to like read what like all their platforms were. And the thing is, it's very complicated and it's very complex, and I think not that you have to be like super genius to understand what they're talking about, but like it takes a special kind of person for sure, because even me as an 18-year-old, it's like boring to read whatever the hell they have to say. So it's better to watch in debates or whatever. But I think it's very important to read their policies, and from their policies pick who you think is the most suitable person for the job, because if you don't, then we have problems when someone who people don't like are voted into power, and then there's nothing you can do about it because, you know, no one really voted or really paid attention, and they let all these things happen. So I think as a democracy, if we want democracy to work, we have to vote, we have to pay attention. So I think it's important, like just how I pay attention to music, not really, and I have my own opinion that Sicko Mode is better without Drake. You should have your own opinion and voice it. And even abstaining from voting is an answer, you know? Now, might not get the answer right because someone either way is still going to win, but it's still your democratic right to go there and let the government know. But that's all I have to say today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Keep listening. I'll be back for more. Later. Hello, and we're back. This is going to be our kind of ending segment where I ask my sister,
Nikisha Cohen,
why are you so close to the mic? Anyways, I'm going to ask her a couple questions about what I said today. So let's see what she says. So one of my blaring opinions was that Sicko Mode was better without Drake's verse on it. What do you think about that?
Hold on, I gotta think about the song first.
Sun is out, beaming cold, out like a light, like a light. I said the song would have been better. Drake wasn't on it.
How do I feel about that? To be quite honest, that song, it took a while for me to like it. I think the only reason I even like tolerated the song is because they're both popular artists, to be quite honest.
Alright, to go off of that, even if you don't kind of listen to rap, what did you think about Travis Scott's album? Because I said it was trash.
I didn't like it.
Exactly.
I liked 90210.
If you listen to Days Before the Rodeo, even Birds and Traps Sing at Night, and then you listen to Astro Thunder, you're like, it's not that great.
I gotta look at albums to really get an idea, but the one where he was a doll.
Yeah, that's
car?
Rodeo.
That was good.
That was like what Rodeo and Days Before Rodeo was debatably his like best music. So
really, when you're at your lowest, that's when you produce the best work.
Yeah.
But now that he's dated a billionaire 20-year-old, like you get.
She's my age, She's 22 years
Oh
old.
my gosh.
I'm older than Kylie Jenner, and she's worth like 3 something billion, bro.
She probably laughs at $50. She's like, penny? Jump change? But either way, yeah, I didn't like his recent album. Like, I feel like the only reason why it did well is because first, he's dating Kylie Jenner, and he's a popular artist.
Because he makes hype music, and like, not that I don't like Travis, but like, definitely that album, his music recently has like gone down in quality.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get better.
I don't think he really has that challenge of producing better music.
Yeah, he doesn't need to anymore.
Maybe he should just go into a new direction. Maybe he needs to like use that. It's like Drake. Drake has gone like okay. So if you know Charlemagne the God, he talked about in like a radio station or a podcast saying how Drake when he released the 2 songs after the Raptors win, it wasn't it wasn't like a champion song. It was just
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. But like, he doesn't write his music. He just makes OVO sound radio, like that meme where it's like that black people out of jail. It's like Drake waking up with the ghostwriters to write the championship song. But then I don't understand either, because from Game 5, everyone was saying if we win, drop a track at midnight. But he was like, say less. But we didn't win, so he had like an extra 3 or 4 days for them to write a song for when we won the championships. I don't know why it took him 2 days to even drop that song.
because he wasn't even ready. He wasn't ready.
Yeah, probably not.
Did he drop it at midnight?
He didn't drop it at midnight. He dropped it like Saturday,
midday, like
Saturday, and the
yeah,
not like Monday or Sunday.
Exactly. I was like, where's the song? Like, I checked all the stuff. I'm like, where is it? And it was trash. I didn't even get to like half the songs because they were so bad. Yeah.
On the radio, I heard like the beginning, and I'm like, nah.
This is so bad. Yeah, like he lost his touch too. Like Drake, all he does is probably just like drink all the time.
He's rich. And if he was smart, he'd just do what Jay-Z and everyone does. They stop, like Rihanna, they stop doing music because music isn't in music unless you're producing it. And they do like their own fashion line or open up their own. Because that's why Drake doesn't have to do anything, because he has OVO Sound Radio, so he just makes money off other artists like Magic Jordan, Party Next Door, so he doesn't have to do anything.
You mean Mahid Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not calling Magic Jordan because...
Why don't you just call them Mahid Jordan?
Because I'm going to butcher it, and then I don't want the Muslim community to come after me.
Let's talk about Mahid Jordan, okay? I have had so much like faith in their music, but like it's just they always have like one good song and then everything else is trash.
You know, I didn't know it was 2 people. Like I didn't know that Migos was like 3 people.
What?
Well, like when I first
Migos?
Okay,
Migos means 3?
No, it's like 3 Amigos. Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
Versace dropped. I thought Versace was.
Oh no, Migos means friends. Sorry, yeah. No, amigos.
Yeah, amigo. But when I first heard
why
Migos
would they call
on
themselves
like
Amigos?
Versace with Drake,
they sound the same.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this person can really switch up his vocals. It's pretty cool. Then I saw like later, like when Bad and Bougie dropped, and it was like Migos. I'm like, wait, Migos from Versace, and I saw 3 different mads. I was like, wait, it's a group.
I don't know. I didn't really care. I was just like, oh, it's 3 people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into them until I think Bad and Bougie.
Yeah.
I think
but even then, they're not great artists.
They're not. They're like.
That's what I was talking about. I don't really like music. Generation music is pretty bad.
Not really. There are some artists like Logic. Like Logic looks like he's like, you're like spit. He's like his words are gunshots.
But like, I don't know. The people who actually have rapping talent just become memes, and then all the people who are trash ass artists become like the popular ones. So
really, like first of all, did you see Cardi B's music video?
No.
It's so violent. It's so violent, and I'm just like, what, girl? What are you promoting? But I think it's about like blogs that talk about celebrities. It's something like that, but it's...
Is it the one where at the end someone's like,
press.
on the floor?
It's girls, yeah, like the dancers. And she's like dancing in the music video naked, and her, like, all the dancers in her, their body parts are like, the you know, like the, down there, and the nipples, they're blurred out, but everyone is just naked dancing. And I'm like, the concept of this is pretty odd. And it's so violent. It's it's violent.
So was This Is America?
Was it?
People are getting gunned down and shot, like a school. People, there's choir are getting shot down. This is America. So I just can't, that was pretty violent.
But the meanings were different.
Yeah, but still. Why?
Oh my god, my foot's twitching. Okay, it's not
Okay,
anymore.
one last question. Did you hear Daniel Caesar's new album?
No.
Everyone's talking about it, and then everyone, apparently the first song, he says got my jersey in the rafters, but everyone kept thinking he said got my Raptors jersey or something like that, so everyone thought he was shouting out the Raptors because he's Canadian and everything. I haven't listened to the song.
Oh, I haven't listened to Daniel Caesar since Get You.
But you were the one that got me listening to him.
I know. I'm into music, but I'm more like underground. I pick up artists that are like getting there. I like once they get too popular, I'm like.
Well, that happens to all artists. Once they get too popular, you kind of want to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, you also want them to make it,
because you're like, oh, this is so good.
Like Travis Scott, like when you heard his music, you're like, this man's dope. But now he's like rich and famous, so he doesn't really have to try, really, because people are gonna love him either way, no matter what he does.
Travis Scott? It's probably because his daughter. I mean, he
no, but even before, people are gonna love him.
But I heard he's really weird.
Like how?
I don't know. His personality is just weird. That's what I heard.
But I think all artists are weird.
You have to be.
For you to create music or like perform at a high level, you can't be normal.
Oh, that smells so good.
Alright then. This has been Afterthoughts. Bye y'all. Hi guys. I just want to end off by thanking today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is the library. Now, for those of you who don't know what a library is a place where you go, and when you go there, there's a bunch of books. And you can rent them all out for free, even movies, as long as you get your library card registered. And also, it has free Wi-Fi. So, I think you should check out your local library, because I'm pretty sure because of the internet and online and other things, the library is dying, and it would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.